If Pless and Nazim are the story of uncommon friendship, ordinary friendship is the essential element that all loves have in common.
Jesus said, greater love hath no man than this, that he gives his life for his friends. And friendship, Aristotle noticed, was a purer form of love than romantic love. It's purely there for the other. It doesn't seek to fulfill anything in itself. It seeks to give. And over time, as you get older, friendship becomes, I think, more and more important.
Camilla Williams, leading soprano of the New York City Opera Company.
Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp.
Mama said, you can count your friends on one hand and have some fingers left. That is the truest statement that was ever made. And this is a good example. What's with your thumb, Boris? It hurts?
No, yeah, a little bit. You know, the arthritis is creeping gradually. I was born in Sofia, Bulgaria. In 52 days, I am going to be 95.
He's counting the days. I'm 85, and when I met Boris, I think I must have been 27 years old. I'm the first Negro to receive a steady contract with a major opera company, New York City Opera. I had just finished my debut in Madame Butterfly, and they had arranged a big concert tour, 50 concerts. I had a call from Columbia artists telling me that Dr. Bozala was coming to have an audition with me to see whether I liked him or not.
She opened the score. It was the Marriage of Figaro. Mm-hmm. I strike a chord on the piano and she starts singing. I could not believe my ears. A voice from heaven. We went over the program without repeating one of the songs. And in 3 days, I received a letter from Columbia Artist Management with the itinerary for 35 concerts until the end of March. We became friends and workers together, but she wanted to meet my family, you know, and my wife and my two children. Mm-hmm. And they loved Camilla from the first day.
My husband's name was Charles Beavers. I'm Mrs. Beavers. Charlie and I married in 1950. See, I met Boris in 48. 2 years later, Charlie and I got married. And when Boris and Lonnie were made citizens, Charlie and I were their witness.
This is F minor.
I am a poor pilgrim of sorrow. I'm lost in this wide world alone.
It was spring already, and we started the Southern tour. The first concert was in Washington, and after Washington, we had to take the train. And Camilla said, now you are going to sit in the front of the couch, and I have to go in the back. I said, why? I said, we traveled all the way to San Francisco, and we were together in the coach. And now, yeah, but she said, this is the Mason-Dixon line. So you have to do. I said, no, Camilla, I am not an American citizen. I have my Bulgarian passport with the American visa, and these laws don't apply to me.
We went into the dining room, and I had to go behind the curtain during segregation. You had to eat behind the curtain. And one lady said, why is that white gentleman sitting behind the curtain with that black cow? And all I could do was cry. You know, I cried for years because I never knew how to answer people. I used to answer them with my tears. And so Boris said, Camilla, don't let that lady hurt you. And I finally stopped crying. But you see, that's the way times were then. But I've heard of a city called heaven. I'm striving to make it my home. Our travels took us all over until I went to Europe in '54. But you see, Boris had his own studio and his own students, and he was raising these two fine young fellas of his. And when you have children, it's hard to travel.
But we stay in
touch.
In touch all the time. And my wife, of course, my wife was like a sister
and
with
Boris,
Camilla.
my husband, and Boris were like two brothers.
My boys loved Charlie, and my wife loved Charlie. And when we heard her sister called to tell us that Charlie died, my wife was on the telephone. She screamed, Charlie's dead. She could not believe it, you know. She cried. She cried with tears.
We were all a unit. We were all.
It was a friendship that, without any restriction, he belonged to you.
That's my Charlie. He passed away at 49. It's young. That's when I came out here to Indiana. See, I came here 77, 78. And they wrote an article when I first came, being the first black professor of voice here.
Elizabeth, this was the newest...
I've been here almost 30 years. Oh, how thanks you should give. It is.
December 12, 99.
Yes.
Yeah.
His son, Michael, called me and said, Camilla, Mama passed away. I thought he was really talking about Boris. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I had just heard from her. She had just sent me a Christmas card. And so that was really tough.
The morning before she died, she told me, I think my time has come.
And so, after poor Lonnie passed, his son, Rosvigor, called, and they had been looking for senior citizen places for Boris to go. He said, Camilla, I think it'd be wonderful if Father would come and be with you. I said, boy, that's a blessing. Boris! And so That's how Boris came to be with me after Lonnie passed away. So this is Boris's bedroom. I said this was my guest room. I had it very frilly. And then when Boris came, my niece said, Aunt Camilla, take some of those frilly things out and make it more macho.
This is the walker.
Oh, that's it for exercising.
This is the exercise.
Look at Boris exercising. Look. You better get off now. That's enough.
I have to get, that's enough?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want you to wear yourself out.
Obedient.
Boris's sons knew that he had to go somewhere where he'd have friendship and be able to play the piano.
And then we can...
Boris loves to cook.
Yeah.
He's an excellent cook.
I have to cook?
No, but you're an excellent cook. Really?
It is for my sons, it was a great, great relief, you know, to see me not alone.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, that looks good.
These are the best pancakes that I have eaten.
Wunderbar. Ausgezeichnet. Prima.
A plus?
You get an A plus.
A plus.
I think there's all kind of love. There's romantic, and then there is friendship. And I thank the Lord every night for the friendship of Boris.
There's no doubt that there is a family connection between all kinds of love. And you feel it in terms of the sacrifice that you are willing to make for people you love and your absolute commitment and devotion to them. And I think that's the crossover between religious love, love of spouse, children, family, and also the love of friends.
We can imagine in terms of a hierarchy of love, but I wonder what you'd put at the top.